Hey, what's going on, guys? So my name is Ipe. I make 7 figures on the internet by ranking websites in Google and doing lead generation for small businesses. And today I'm going to react to JWALLER, Ruthless advice to get rich by 35.
Okay, this is going to sound a little nuts, but the fastest and easiest way to make passive on
1 second, guys. Ads are not good, so I always need to use this account.
Hey Justin, I'm 24 years old and currently stuck at a crossroads in my life. I have been in nursing school in LA for the past year and took the last semester off in order to start my detailing business and see how it goes. My friend, who has a moving business making $50K a month cash flow, has also been my mentor and opened my eyes to what someone could make running a business instead of working for someone else. I went door knocking in wealthy neighborhoods almost every day for the past 4 months and had weeks where I made up to 2.5K. Frankly, LA had a high cost of living, so I'm planning to move to Austin, Texas to start an Airbnb arbitrage with my friend while also starting my detailing business full-time. My business and my friends are urging me to finish school first so that I'll have a backup plan, especially in a recession. But my mentor buddy is
Airbnb arbitrage is becoming kind of like a popular model that people are pitching. Like there's different courses coming out, but it's okay. You still have a lot of risks because you have to sign a lease with different renters. But basically, I think people really need to look into renting out digital assets, which is what we teach. It's way less expensive to get into, and it'll net you equivalent, like as much money as you need by just scaling digital assets, which is much easier to scale.
Is telling me not to take advice from people who are not wealthier than me, which is why I'm trying to get advice from someone, you, who is far more successful than us combined. Take into consideration that I have never finished anything in my life, and finishing nursing school will be one of the first. With nursing, I will also have a financial bench to stand on no matter what the market is like. But my mentor and I also heard you say that you don't have a backup job that you can get comfortable on. On the other hand, I also don't want to waste 1.5 years doing something I might never use. I understand diving into entrepreneurship and going fully into a business takes courage, and that really excites me. What would you do in my situation?
There's nothing, I mean, if he's that far along with nursing school, there's nothing wrong with like finishing it, and that way you at least have a career where you can make decent income, although like it's not like great money. But while you have the career, while you have the money, at least you got something that you can allow you to pay the bills, and then you can do a side hustle on the side. Basically, people are stuck where they're at because they don't know how to create leveraged income, right? So most people can only trade time for dollars, and there's only limited amount of time per day. So you have to learn different skill sets that allows you to create leveraged income, meaning you have to learn how to leverage media or code, which is utilizing the internet to create digital assets that can go out there and make money for you. Why am I filming this video? Because I can film this video one time, it can go out, generate traffic, and generate business for my company, right? Same with JWALLER. He can film this video one time and it can go out there and generate traffic. Now there's other ways to create leverage income as well. Again, like I make 95% of my income not on YouTube but by ranking websites. So that's another skill set, SEO. And lead generation is like one of the best ways to get started.
And would you risk it all for a business such as detailing? I don't want to look back during the hard times and regret that I didn't finish school, but my goal is
like a brick and mortar business like detailing. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's very, very difficult to scale, and there's a lot of upfront capital that you have to invest and risk. And when it's not that scalable, it's you can grow your wealth much faster with other business models that are much more scalable. For example, online business is going to be on average way more scalable than a brick and mortar business.
Is also to get rich by 35. I would really appreciate your insight on this. Thanks for inspiring young men like me.
What? It's Justin. How you doing, man?
Hey, Justin. Thank you so much for calling me. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad to be able to do it. I just had Pablo tell me about your situation with nursing school and the 2 businesses that you're looking at doing. You want to fill me in a little bit more on what you're thinking and what's going on?
Yeah. I took the last semester. I was halfway in between nursing school with my buddy who's an entrepreneur. He kind of like woke me up to the business thing. Started my detailing business in the summer, and I went right through December with it. All I did was start door knocking, and I was by my stuff.
That detailing business would explode so much more if he knew what I knew about how to dominate Google's search engines. And so, you know, you have to look at businesses as always like with different ways to differentiate yourself from the competition. And one of the best ways to differentiate yourself or dominate your competition is to have elite digital marketing skills.
With my little car, door knocking in wealthy neighborhoods, it's making like on average like $2K a week. And now I've come at the dilemma again. Everyone else is telling me to finish the school because you don't know what the market's going to be like.
Who's everybody else?
Definitely
I didn't know he was already doing the detailing business. I guess I wasn't paying attention close enough. But if he's already making money with detailing business, if I was his friend, I would say keep doing that and just learn digital marketing skills and blow that up. The nursing school, you can always go back to the nursing school if your business fails, but there's so much digital marketing skills I can teach this kid that would allow him to basically make it impossible for him to fail. Because when you got leads, you got more customers than you know what to do with. Like, it's very difficult to not succeed. But most people fail in business because they don't know how to generate customers. So essentially, like, lead generation skill is the most important skill set to have in 95% of businesses out there. But a lot of people get into business without even learning that skill or having customers. That's why people fail.
My parents, older guys. This one guy I look up to. He works at the gym. He's kind of like the grandpa of the gym, and he's like he had his own little business. If I would finish school a year and a half. I have a year and a half left. Everyone telling me that, except that one friend, my actual buddy, who's been keeping up with me, who's been telling me a lot about business, even through my detailing business. He told me a lot about how to grow it and all that. And he's saying the cost of opportunity, your mindset, cost of your mindset. And I'm like, what if I fail and everything? If failure's not a real thing. You just learn. You keep going at it. You see, what he's saying is like even the business is not. I'm like detailing. It's not like your company, like steel business. It's an easy entry. He's saying that, which I agree. In the next couple of years, you learn the skills of business, and by then I'll figure it out and go into another business or something like that. So I don't know if I have no clue right now. What would you do if you were in my kind of spot right now?
So I often say, if I could go back in time and get that 4 years back from college, I would take it. I can't imagine where I would be if I had that 4 years back. I'd probably be where I would be in 4 years in regards to the steel business, because I would have took those hits earlier. I would have been able to navigate through those things at an earlier age, and therefore I'd be further along now. What I'm going to tell you is, if you get into nursing, it's going to be very time intensive, and there's a good chance that your whole body, your whole mindset, your whole rhythm is going to get into kind of a circadian rhythm working for somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably a really big risk, because you can get comfortable, the money's going to be good, and there's a good chance that you're not going to have enough free time to go start another business. So let's talk about the 2 business models that you're looking at doing and what you said in the message. First of all, what I heard from you in your message is that you're looking at doing 2 businesses, possibly 2 at a time. So I want to look at both of those businesses and the upside and downside of both. So let's take the detailing business. Detailing business, in my opinion, is going to be a very technician-based business, which means in the beginning, and probably for quite a while, unless you can grow into a place where you have a car wash and you have multiple staff, you can't leverage people. So you're going to be washing a lot of cars and spending a lot of time at the lowest level of your business. Like if you were to draw an organizational board, at the very bottom would be the guy pushing the rag on the car. So that's going to be you. The upside of that business is that if you have high-level clientele, it's pretty recession-proof. Rich people pretty much stay rich during recessions and still spend money. Problem with the model I see is that it's going to be centered around you and you trading time for money, which is basically a job.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. That's what my buddy's saying. He's like, as soon as you get set up, because I've been last couple months, I've been jumping from like Sacramento to LA and different cities.
Yeah, it's not a leveraged income, right?
You know, like, I haven't been able to like stay somewhere to grow it, and that's what my buddy's saying. Dude,
but even if you grow somewhere, even if you grow.
But if he can hire a team of people that can do it for him, I mean, then it becomes more leveraged.
Bro, it's gonna have 5 cars lined up, and you're gonna have one other guy, and that particular individual is not gonna be very excited about the amount of money you're gonna pay him to wash a car, which is gonna bring on risk to you in regards to your staff and your manpower to get it done and scale it up in any way. You're always gonna have a mercenary working for you that's not gonna be happy pushing a rag for you. You know, there's nothing that's gonna excite a young man about washing a 60-year-old man's car when a blind gets out, and he's like, why the fuck am I washing this car for this other guy that's actually making all the money? You have to be able to see into the future in that regard, and I just think it's gonna be a hard business to scale unless somehow you can get into the car wash.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said earlier. Difficult to scale.
Business, which I think is also really risky, and you're gonna have the same problem when it comes to staff. So getting them trained, getting them happy, and getting them in a place where they wash the car. Because I can tell you something, man, if you have high level clients, like if you were to wash my G-Wagon, I'd have a pretty high expectation of you doing a good job. So you're just gonna be catching it from both ends, bro. When it comes to the real estate arbitrage thing, that seems like something that's a bit more scalable. Your downside risk right now is gonna be, as the economy gets worse, less and less people are gonna be able to afford an Airbnb. Less people are gonna want to travel. But I do think that if you get really, really good at Airbnb, most people that do Airbnb, they're kind of like fair weather business people. They take it when it comes, it'll pay their mortgage once or twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year max, and they're not really running the business at a high level. So if you could get in that business, get a good list of vendors that will clean, that will do the things that you need to do. You can set up some systems. You can have some really good systems for acquiring properties in regards to getting in touch with people that are renting and talking them through the process of what you plan to do with Airbnb arbitrage. You can leverage their property and very, very likely start cash flowing in a much larger way, in a large scalable way pretty quickly. And if you get big enough, then you have a better position to negotiate with your vendors on cleaning and any other things that you're going to do.
Right. Okay. That's what we were both going to do in Austin. I think Austin pretty good.
I think that Austin's a really good market to do that in. I think people are going to come to Austin regardless.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the hottest cities in America. And if you can get Airbnb arbitrage going there, and you have a partner, somebody that's willing to work on it with you for 24 hours a day and really make it work, then I think that you possibly have something that's worth doing. And in regards to school, man, if you have this entrepreneurship on your mind, I don't even think you're going to give school your whole heart. So if I were you,
no, definitely not.
I would dump the washing cars and I would go to.
The only downside with Airbnb arbitrage, it can definitely work if you stick with it, right? Like, but how is it different from like what I do with, which is like digital real estate, which it's like anybody can get into Airbnb arbitrage. Like there's not that much of a barrier to entry besides like capital, and anyone can like get into it. So like you are kind of dealing with like a lot of competition there. But the reason why I like digital real estate is that, like, you know, the barrier to entry to actually learn the skill of ranking websites, not too many people know how to do that. So once it's the business model is a little bit more skill based, then you have a higher success rate, and your success becomes more predictable because not too many people have that skill. And you can always count on your skills to make money for you. So it becomes a little bit more recession proof, a little bit less susceptible to like external variables affecting your ability to earn income once you become more high level, like skill based.
To Austin, find a little job that you can afford to lose so you two can pay the bills, and then really ramp up the Airbnb thing. That's what I would do if I were
all in. Okay.
Yeah, and don't do 2 businesses. Don't do both. Do one. Right. Burn the fucking boat and do one. Okay.
Obviously, you know, if you have trouble renting out an Airbnb, now you're on the hook for rent for that property, right? So you are taking a risk. You know, like if it's your only source of income, it will get kind of scary at times if you have trouble, you know, renting it out. Obviously, with digital real estate, a website only costs you like, you know, $25 per month to host and maintain. So like the risk is not even there with an online, you know, digital real estate model. So that's going to be obviously the biggest difference there.
But I think that's better. I had one more thing on my mind too, which is kind of regarding to real estate, but I've been arguing that with my buddy. He's like, realtor, you did the math. He's like, you can't really, because I'm trying to hit go into the millions, right? Like by 35. And he's like, you can't, the top 1% don't even make like maybe a couple mil a year on the realtor business. What do you think about becoming a real estate agent?
I don't think you need it. I think people make the mistake all the time. They want to be in the real estate business, and they think to do that they need to become an agent first. You need to understand the food chain, my friend. So at the very bottom of it, you have a buyer and you have a real estate agent. Let's say you're renting a place. You have a renter, and then you might have an agent help you find that. But at the top, man, you always have an investor. Always. Even if you get to raw dirt building a house or building an apartment building, at the very, very top is the investor. That's above the architect, the agent, everything. The contractor, subcontractor, the guy working on his tools, man. The investor's at the top of the food chain. You need to realize where you want to be and where the real money is made. And the real money is made in financial education and being the investor. If I were you, I would disregard being a real estate agent because honestly, it's not even the best time to be an agent right now. Agents are dropping left and right. You're seeing it all over the news. In Vegas, they're dropping every day because, you know, the interest rates are high. Houses aren't getting sold. If I were you, man, I would stick to the plan that I had and go figure out how to make money in real estate.
That's good advice. I 100% agree. I don't think agent is that great of a career path. Again, it's not scalable. You're still trading a lot of time for dollars. Your livelihood is so dependent on external factors that you cannot control.
Whether it's through the arbitrage or taking money that you make from the arbitrage and putting it into investment property that you can kind of diversify your Airbnb.
Okay, there's also digital real estate that people can invest in, and you know, a lot of people aren't aware of that.
And long-term rentals for it, and go get rich. Okay. And what you really want is wealth, man. You really want wealth, and wealth is gonna.
By the way, I have nothing against investing in real estate. I'm actually investing in a property currently with a homie of mine, and we're gonna flip some houses soon. You know, that's just another way to, you know, diversify your income, right? that allows you to like have money work for you.
Maybe you have an equity in some properties at some point.
But I'm able to generate that money because I have skills in digital marketing, ranking websites in Google. That to me is my biggest money making skill that I have, and it gives me a lot of stability because I can always count on myself and my skill sets to make me money.
And being able to either sell those or 1031 into something else, or never sell them and just let the property go up in value again and again and again while you take the cash flow and depreciation against your income.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, thanks for clearing everything out. Funny thing, I was actually just door knocking right now for detailing before you called me, so I'm gonna stop that now, I guess.
You're not gonna get rich watching people's car, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Understand what the guy that pulls up with his Mercedes for you to wash it, he's really high up on the totem pole. Know where you are in the food chain, G.
Okay, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, you're right about the people, like my labor is not gonna do as good of a job on the G-Wagons.
No, of course not. You're gonna do a great job because you want to make your customer happy and come back. Your guy, he's just there for a paycheck in that business. He's got no future, and he knows it. And there's nothing you can do to paint a picture for him to do better. So, and then you're gonna take the brunt of that from the customer. Go build a business where people can be happy and that you can leverage and you can get way at the top of the food chain and make some money.
Yes, sir. Do you know if I go into Airbnb arbitrage thing, I want to buy property later on, how would the mortgage thing work out? Do you have any experience in that or no?
The mortgages on the investment properties?
Yeah, because usually all I know is banks need like 2 years of work experience to pull out a mortgage, but now I don't have that work experience.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna ask you for financials. I think if you build an arbitrage business up, see, the thing is you want to make money, protect it from a tax perspective if you can, and then make it grow. And so show them 2 years of your business knocking it out of the park, doing 10, 20 grand a month, so they can trust you as a guarantor. And then really, if you're buying a commercial property, they should be looking at the property just as much as they're looking at you. So if they believe that property is going to cash flow and you can get good debt on it, and they believe in the property, you should always look at the bank as your partner. They don't want your asset, bro. They want your money. So go build your business, make money for a couple of years, show some good returns. They're going to ask for them in a personal financial statement. They're going to look at you and the property, and you'll be fine, man. They might have you put a little extra money down. They might be completely okay with it, but you got to start somewhere. And I think making money in this business and showing that you can manage properties through that Airbnb arbitrage is going to give you a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, the reason why detailing is not a great business is because it's such a low ticket business and service, you know. So they're just like, you're dealing with so much, like when it's low ticket, you have to deal with so much more customers to generate, you know, good, decent income. It's kind of like drop shipping. Drop shipping is like you have to sell like a $50 product and your profit margin is only like 10 to 15%. So you have to sell so many customers, right? But the problem with that is when you have to deal with so many customers, you also have to deal with all their bullshit. Like you have to deal with complaints, you have to deal with returns, all these things. So it just bogs you down over time because of all the hassle having to deal with so many customers. Now, so now on the flip side, if you can find a business that's more higher ticket, that's a better business to get into, right? Like, so for local lead generation, our clients pay us anywhere from $750 to $2,000 per month, but that's per month from one client. So literally, you know, if a client pays us $1,000 a month, that one client is worth 24 grand a year, you know? And so it doesn't take too many of those clients before you're, you know, making well over 6 figures in income. And that's mostly all passive too. Once the website ranks and it's generating leads, like we don't have to continuously like do anything or, you know, talk to the client even. We just let the website do its thing and we just collect our check at the end of the month. Like this is why we call it digital real estate, because our websites that we rank at the top of Google, these are digital web properties that we're renting it out to small business owners. So it's very passive and it's very scalable. That's what makes lead generation a very, very powerful business to get into. So it's night and day different from like detailing business with such low margins. Don't think that just because of this video, don't think that, you know, investing in like real estate or retail arbitrage is the only way to go, because in the beginning, you don't have that kind of money. Most people don't have that kind of money to get into something like a retail arbitrage, right? Or Airbnb arbitrage. You need to go learn a high income skill set first and hopefully start your own business with it and start earning income. Then you can take the income and do certain investments like he's talking about. But you know what, the cool thing with like lead generation is that you are learning a skill set that makes you money. At the same time, this business model allows you to invest in digital properties as well. So it's got like best of both worlds essentially. Yeah, hope you like this video. It's a very good video by Jay. He's definitely knows what he's talking about. He's definitely somebody that, you know, obviously is started his own businesses and made a name of himself on his own. And it's very clear listening to him that he has good business IQ.